15 minutes. Is society really welcoming of women who breastfeed? We will find out the answer. Plus, the latest weird and wonderful inventions straight from Japan. But right now, puberty is a difficult time for adolescents as they struggle to cope with the changes in their bodies and, of course, emotionally. But what if I told you that girls as young as 7 were going through puberty? A recent study has revealed that as many as 10% of 7-year-old girls are developing breasts. So what does this mean for today's young women and, of course, their parents? To tell us more, we're joined now in Brisbane by parenting expert Felicity Moore and in the studio, Dr. Penny Adams. Penny, we'll start with you.
Actually,
this is a study out of the US.
Yes.
Is the same thing happening in Australia?
We are seeing exactly the same trend here in Australia. The age of onset of puberty is getting younger and younger. The average age at the moment would be, for actually starting periods, would be about 11 and a half. 200 years ago it would have been 17 or 18, so the trend is downwards.
They're just kids. Why is it happening?
Well, we don't really know, but there's a couple of theories, and one theory, and this would obviously tie in with the US and Australia, is that we are getting more and more obese. And in fat tissue, you make small amounts of weak estrogen. And so this estrogen is causing breast bud development and then kicking off their puberty. The other theory is that there are things called endocrine disruptors, these chemicals probably found in plastics, in certain cleaning agents and some foods that mimic hormones and bind onto receptors, and that kickstarts things. So there's a couple of theories.
None of it sounds good. Do they have health consequences being so young?
There's major health consequences of going through puberty so early. A lot of mental health issues such as poor self-esteem and depression and eating disorders. But down the track also, if you're exposed to estrogen for that long period of time, you're more likely to get breast cancer, number one. And also if you're obese, the issues of diabetes and heart disease. So big issues here for health.
Is there anything you can do to actually stop it?
Well, I think the main thing you need to be doing with your daughters is giving them a healthy diet and trying to avoid them becoming overweight, lots of exercise and probably, a bit of clean food, fresh food, the good health recommendations that we make.
So, Felicity, we'll bring you in here. What are the problems socially with growing up too fast?
Well, puberty's tough at any age, but when you're going through it earlier than the rest of your classmates, it's going to set you apart. So this is going to be a problem for kids, and parents who are trying to guide their child through that need to understand that they're going to be a little bit different, which makes them a target for classmate teasing and bullying. They also, when your body develops earlier, your emotional maturity doesn't match what your body's doing. So there's going to be problems with people treating your child older than they actually are, which can bring with it problems, expectations about boyfriends and girlfriends and all of that sort of thing, which at 6, 7, 8, 9 years of age they're a little bit too young for. So parents can take some basic steps to help their child through this difficult time, but it is, bear in mind, it's going to be bumpy, but you can if you keep the lines of communication open with your child and really talk to them and make sure that you understand what's going on in the classroom and how they're feeling. Forewarned is forearmed. If you can tell your child what's going to happen as they notice these changes happening, I mean, it's a difficult time. Nobody enjoys puberty, do they? But if you let them know, well, this is what's going to happen with your body, but do it in age-appropriate terms. Don't give them the whole birds and the bees speech, because I don't think they're going to be quite ready for that, although every parent knows their child best. Give them enough to understand what's happening, how long it's going to be going on, what they can expect, and that soon everybody else is going to be going through the same thing. This is not them on their own, it's just them a little bit ahead of their friends. So I think those sort of steps will help. But as I said, puberty is not fun for anybody and it's difficult, so parents sort of just need to be sensitive when tackling such a topic.
And for a 7-year-old, tread very, very carefully because, as you say, the emotional development isn't there with the physical development.
No, that's right. And it can be difficult to accelerate that. I mean, some kids, they vary greatly in emotional maturity. Some girls are young 7-year-olds and some girls are old 7-year-olds, as we know. So it's really down to each parent knowing exactly how to arm their daughter with the kind of information that's going to help her get through every day, really, while she sort of goes through this hormonal sea change. I mean, Penny would be able to say better than I would how the hormones are going, how much the hormones are going to fluctuate. But we've all been through puberty, so we know it's not fun.
Yep, I don't ever want to go back.
One of the big problems also with this younger puberty is that we're sexualising our young girls anyway. They're wearing little mini bras when they're 7, and they're wearing age-inappropriate clothes. And then when they get the bodies to go with them, you know, you've got an 8-year-old who looks like she's 18, and people treating her like that, and it's really, really not good.
And I imagine just as tough for parents to deal with it as it is for the kids themselves. So a rough ride all the way.
Yep.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Really is.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much to Felicity Moore in Brisbane and Dr. Penny Adams right here with me, holding my hand. Okay, if you